Hello everyone, I'm come back and today we are going to something really very interesting, and today's topic is research. It is very important topic and it will definitely help to all of you in MPhil exam and PhD entrance exam and many other exams, and sometimes we have to, in some universities we have to research on master degree as well. So what is research? What the meaning of research? Perhaps the kind and everything we are going to discuss in this video. So first of all, I would like to define you what you mean by research. Research, if we divide this word into two parts, so we can say that re and search. Re means again, and search means, as you know, that to find something again. But how are we going to find something again? This is a question. So basically there are lots of research, new trends, emerging trends in every field of knowledge. Because of this particular aspects, we have to do research, and there are some loopholes in any research. Therefore, to conduct research, or some kind of problem we have been facing in our education sector and in any scientific field, and also research. So basically these are the basic reasons to conduct our research. And the second step, the second thing which is very important is the kind of research. There are various kind of research like exploratory research, basic research, quantitative, qualitative, historical, and many more. So what do you mean by basic research? Which is used to find something very basic questions, very really easy questions. So it is kind of basic. Conduct a research, you need to frame a question, formulation of a problem, because without any problem there is no one to going to conduct any research. Because if there is a problem, so we are going to solve that problem, and then it is called a research. So basically it's very important for each and everyone. We need to understand that raising a question is a first step if you are going to do research. So which kind of questions, what is this and what is that and where are you going? Not this type of questions will not you can raise in research. It would be some systematic questions, some relevant questions you give to answer to yourself. Are you getting something in return? It is going to contribute in emerging trend, in recent development of any field of knowledge. So these are the questions. It's a very broad and extensive parameter where we are going to conduct a research. Therefore it's a very long term process. It takes almost 3 years. Most universities, this is process you can complete that research. At least you can going to give your 3 years that you can do any systematic and extensive research. You raise a question, and which type of questions? I told you that it would be definitely reliable and systematic. And then literature review. You raise the questions and you are aware with the problem, that which kind of problem you have been facing. So Because of that, literature review, because what are you for example, I want to find something new trend in literature. So how would I able to understand that which kind of trend is new, or which is already has been used? So basically, for this matter, I have to review the literature. I have to adopt all these material which is exist in present time in the form of primary and secondary data, like books, journals, magazines, seminars, theses, and research, scholarly articles, and many more. You can say study material you have to read to find that in that way you can enhance the observing power of yours, because to be a researcher it's very important you have to good power of observation around your uh, happening which is around you happening around you. So this is really very important, and then you can consider that how I can understand and define that. After that, literature formulation of the mm, problem. So which kind of problem you are going to solve, that this is very important. This is the backbone of the research process to finding the problem and the formulation of a problem. So it's a very difficult process, and for that you have to need do a lot of hard work, and then you can formulate a problem with a systematic problem. It is playing a vital role while your research. And after that, there is a sampling methodology. Random sampling is that you are going to take each student in a row, like a fifth student, then 10th student, then 15th, then 12th. Stratified research is when you are taking a broad example, broad sample, and you are dividing it on some basis on in a sub points, and then you are going to proceed your research. And each kind of method you are going to adopt in your research, and methods are entirely depend up to that which kind of research you are going to do, and methods relevant method must be relevant as per your desirability and the requirement of the research basically. So in that way you are understanding that, and after that sampling, which way you are going to collect your data. Now, data is a different kind of data, primary data and secondary data. For example, I am going to research on John Milton's Paradise Lost. So the work which has been written by John Milton, it is called primary research, primary data, and the work and whatever the author has been written about the John Milton's his work and all everything, that will be called secondary data. So and the scholarly journal and magazines and literary magazines, many other things, and then we can gather our data. And sampling is also very important, because when you can collect your data, so you can conduct your survey. For example, I would like to give that I would like to find that average students in a class, any class, 10th class and 12th class. So I will just use the survey method, and there are 5 sections in a school: section A, B, C and D, E. And then I am going to conduct a research that what is the number of the average student in all these 5 sections. So how I would like to conduct a research, how can I do that? There are various tools, various sampling methods like random sampling, simple random sampling, stratified sampling. Random sampling is that you are just randomly taken the students and just starting your research. And the simple random sampling is that you are going to take each student in a row, like a 5th student, then 10th student, then 15th, then 12th, then 15th, and so on. In that way you are taking your sample. And the stratified research is when you are taking a broad example, broad sample, and you are dividing it on some basis on in a sub points, and then you are going to proceed your research. After doing this and that, what we can do, we at the at the end of the I will just use the survey method, and there are 5 sections in a school: section A, B, C and D, E. And then I am going to conduct a research that what is the number of the average student in all these 5 sections. So how I would like to conduct a research, how can I do that? There are various tools, various sampling methods like random sampling, simple random sampling, stratified sampling. Random sampling is that you are just randomly taken the students and just starting your research. And the simple random sampling is that you are going to take each student in a row, like a 5th student, then 10th student, then 15th, then 12th, then 15th, and so on. In that way you are taking your. After doing this and that, what we can do, we at the at the end of our research we have to write our research report, which is very important. And in this topic you will add abstract, it should be very clear, and then introduction, it should be very clear, relevant, and well written, though, so the people who are going to read it, they feel interest to read it further. And the third one is the body and methods and objectives, aims, what are you are going to define in that particular research. You have been defined that. And at the last, interpretation of the data, in which way you are going to interpret the data, various things you will also mention in that. Various things you will also mention in that research. In that way you can continue your research. So I hope you would like it, and it will definitely helpful to all of you. And I will come back with something very interesting and informative.